My performance experience has run the gamut of everything from playing in all original bands that performed for little or no money to playing in cover bands, doing weddings, corporate functions, and so on, to things like living in the Caribbean and performing in groups playing both cover songs and original material to large crowds of tourists. Playing live music, at least in the beginning, is all about getting people to come see you and spend money on drinks and food. This is, of course, how bars and restaurants earn their money. The problem with playing all original music is that unless you have a big following, you're not going to have a lot of people coming out to see you. And in markets where there are a lot of bands, the competition for customers can be fierce. I used to be very against the idea of playing cover songs, but I've really warmed to the idea over the years, primarily due to the fact that I've earned more money from these types of performances. In a lot of ways, it just makes good business sense, and it doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing thing. You can play both covers and originals. In other words, you can market yourself as a cover band, but still slip in a few original songs throughout the night. As your following grows, they'll start to know and hopefully like your original material, and you can gradually introduce more of it into your sets. This is precisely the formula my current band uses, and it's been working great. We usually play 3 to 4 nights a week, and a lot of our regulars know and love our original material as well. I like to use YouTube as an analogy. If you put up an unknown song on YouTube as an unknown band, unless you're really lucky, very few people are going to find it, simply because they're not searching for it. People can't search for what they don't know. However, if you put up cover songs where you're performing other groups' covers, it's much more likely someone will actually come across your videos, and if they like what they hear, there's a good chance they'll check out your channel and view your original material as well. I look at performing live in a similar way. If people don't know you and don't know your music, which is almost always the case with new bands, why would they go see you? On the other hand, if people know that you're going to play songs they know and love, there's a good chance they'll come and check you out, and you can sprinkle in your original songs throughout the night. Of course, what direction you go in will ultimately depend on what your long-term goals are. If you're happy simply playing cover songs a few nights a week, then what you need to do is obvious. However, if you ultimately want to play original music, don't think that you simply can't play covers or even market yourself as a cover band in the beginning as a way to build your following. Success in the music business is, to a large extent, about marketing. You can have the greatest music in the world, but if no one knows about it or hears it, you're never going to make it. Over the last few years, I've had much more success both financially and in terms of getting my original music out there by using cover songs as a way to get people in the door. Also, keep in mind that regardless of what music you're playing, you're getting valuable performance experience. To become a really good live performer usually takes logging a lot of hours on stage. And at the end of the day, regardless of what type of music you're performing, you're going to be gaining priceless experience performing live in front of crowds, which is vital experience if you want to ultimately make it as an original or a cover act. Think about it. What scenario makes the most sense in terms of gaining experience? Playing your original music once or twice a month for little money to few people? Or playing both covers and originals live 3 to 4 times a week to big crowds for much better money? I think the answer is obvious. Not that there are only 2 scenarios, but for a lot of musicians playing original music, it's hard to perform consistently due to demand and venues not wanting original acts to quote-unquote oversaturate themselves. A final factor to consider is your location. Live music markets vary greatly, and depending on where you're located, different strategies will make more sense. For example, the last couple years I've spent a lot of time playing music in the Caribbean with a few friends of mine. When I'm there, I generally play 4 to 5 times a week for good money to consistently large crowds. The location is the main factor since I'm playing in tourist areas with steady crowds of people that want to be entertained night after night. Obviously, not all areas will have this sort of steady turnover of new crowds willing to listen to whoever is on stage, but get to know your live music market. Look at what types of acts are getting paid well and figure out why. Think about what you can do to capitalize on your market circumstances. Some areas are naturally more receptive to original music, and other areas demand to hear music they know. What can you do to be more successful in your area but still be true to the material you ultimately want to play? What are your experiences in terms of playing cover songs versus original material? Let me know in the comments.